New construction homebuyers are getting ripped off at alarming rates, and they have no clue it's even happening. Hundreds of people walk into those model homes every day and hand the sales reps thousands of dollars more than they should. And even worse, many of them end up with a home that's not even close to what they were promised. Now, the good news is that you can avoid all these problems, but that means you're going to have to ask the builder to do some things they're not going to like.
Can I get a discount on that?
And it will start to feel like a wrestling match. That's when you're gonna need a little help.
In this video, we're coming down on the builders from the top of the turnbuckle. I'm gonna show you how to save tens of thousands on your new home, the best ways to keep the builder honest, and make sure they're not cutting any corners, and reveal the biggest mistake that new construction buyers make.
Thanks, pal. So you probably guessed this, but builders don't like being asked to come down on price for anything. In fact, most of them will tell you that they don't negotiate at all.
Yeah, but that's a bunch of bull, brother, because they do negotiate.
One thing they do all the time is reduce the amount of the lot premium that they charge for having something like a corner lot or one that backs up to open space. In fact, I just helped some clients get their lot premium cut in half. So this is definitely something that you should ask for.
I mean, we might consider that, but there's no way we would go for anything else.
What you gonna do when buyer mania runs wild on you, brother? Because we want a few more things.
Really, there's only one thing that builders won't budge on, and that's the base price of the home. They need their houses to all sell at a certain level to avoid appraisal gaps for buyers who are purchasing with a mortgage. But there are some other things you can ask for that won't affect the sales price of the home and put money back into your pocket. How about you guys cover my closing costs for me?
I can ask, but I don't see that happening.
You better buckle up, because we're just getting started, brother.
That's true. I'd also like to get a credit towards options and upgrades to the design center. That doesn't reduce the overall price of the house, and it really doesn't cost you guys much money at all.
I don't know, guys. That's a ton of things I would have to get approved.
That's okay, we're fine waiting.
Okay, let me go ask my manager.
I think that went really well.
I think we got him on the run, brother.
All right, playtime is over. I heard you guys are trying to get a smoking deal. Well, that's not happening on my watch.
Hey, we made a fair offer.
Yeah, but now you've got the macho manager to deal with. And there's some things we're gonna need from you two if you wanna make a deal.
Lay it on me.
Well, first, if you wanna have a prayer of getting any of this stuff, you've gotta go with our preferred lender.
This is a really common one, and I figured that they'd bring this up. Every builder is going to have either a mortgage company that they own or a lending partner that they have a relationship with. Since this is another way for them to make some money on the home sale, they're going to always give you a few extra perks if you go with their lender. But if you're going to be a cash buyer, you can still get the incentives as a credit off of the sales price or applied towards closing costs. All right, manager, we'll use your preferred lender, but before I sign a contract, I want to know a little bit more about the home's energy efficiency. How are yours any better when it comes to that?
Oh, our homes are the best. They're all Energy Star certified, so your utility bills would be a lot lower.
Hey, brother, I heard that just because it's labeled Energy Star certified doesn't mean it meets those standards. What do you know about that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So this is another trick that builders will use in their marketing. They all brag about how their homes are Energy Star certified, but that's misleading. They're only testing 1 out of every 7 homes to make sure that it's actually meeting the standards. And out of those, 1 in 5 fails. So your home may not meet Energy Star guidelines at all, and even worse, you never even know. So what do you do if yours isn't one of the lucky few that was checked? You can actually hire a specialty inspection company for about $300 to come in and perform all the tests. And if your house fails, you can actually have the builder come back and fix the areas that aren't performing.
You guys are about to be snapped like a Slim Jim. The houses we make are the cream of the crop. We even backed them with a warranty. We're the tower of power. Too sweet to be sour.
I'm glad you brought that up, brother, because that warranty of yours is something you've been using to rip off buyers for years.
That's true. And this is something that almost nobody seems to understand and actually follow the rules on. And the sad thing is that homeowners all across Arizona have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars on things that the builder should have fixed for them.
Hey, we fix a lot of things during the first year.
Well, the problem is that the home is actually under warranty for 8 years, according to Arizona state law.
You're giving me manager madness. It says right here in the contract, you get a 1-year warranty.
Well, you can take that piece of paper and use it to wipe after you passed all those Slim Jims because that's all it's good for.
So here's the thing, every builder will tell you that you get a 1-year warranty, and they're all pretty good about fixing things during that first year. But Arizona law actually gives you 8 years of protection under something called the implied warranty of workmanship and habitability. In fact, one buyer actually sued the builder 4 years after she bought the home because they refused to fix a bunch of defects. And after a 9-year legal battle, the state Supreme Court ruled in her favor. So no matter what the builder contract says, the law gives you coverage for up to 8 years.
Wait, what?
It's true, and most of you guys are still telling buyers that they only get 1 year of warranty protection, mostly because you're banking on them not wanting to go to the trouble and expense of hiring an attorney to help them.
Lawyers are expensive. Guess that's a good thing for us.
Well, don't get too comfortable, brother, because there's a much cheaper route that buyers can take.
He's right, and the timing is critical on this one though. But if you're still within the first 2 years of your home's lifespan, then you can still get the builder to fix any defects, and it shouldn't cost you anything.
What kind of craziness are you talking about?
Well, all the builders are members of the state registrar of contractors, and if they're not fixing construction defects, you can file a complaint with the ROC. If they find in your favor and the builder still isn't cooperating, you can file a claim against the builder's contractor's bond.
Wait, they can do that? That's a bummer.
Cheer up, fellas. I'm here to buy a home, so I do think that you put out a good product. I just want to make sure that I get the best deal that I can, and also that you guys deliver on what I'm promised.
All right, that seems fair. But you did say that there's a huge mistake that a lot of buyers make. I'm curious what you think that is.
Yeah, this one is crazy to me, but I see it all the time. Let me ask you something. If you were involved in a lawsuit with somebody and you walked into the courtroom by yourself and the judge said, hey, we'll cover the cost of your attorney for you, please just don't try to represent yourself, would you then reply back and say, nah, I'm good, I'm sure their legal team will be super fair to me?
Of course not.
Right? And yet that's exactly what I see a ton of buyers doing when they walk into these model homes without their real estate agent. They think that the builder sales reps are actually there to help them, but those guys are just trying to squeeze as much money out of you as they possibly can on behalf of their employer. You really do need somebody who's looking out for your interests. And you also need to make sure that your agent is with you on the very first visit to the model home. And if you'd like to work with me, check the description below this video.
Yeah, I will admit, people do get a lousy deal when they don't use an agent.
But there's one more thing I see people get wrong all the time, and that's not doing enough homework on the surrounding area of the community that they're about to buy in. And you will not believe some of the stuff that I found surrounding some of the places I looked at recently. So if you're looking at new construction communities around Phoenix, you need to watch this video next, where I will show you where these places are and why you should reconsider if one of these neighborhoods has been on your list.
Honey, Hulk Hogan and I just defeated the builder and saved thousands.
Didn't he just die recently?
Legends never die, babe.